During normal resonance, we're modifying the voice as it passes through the laryngeal, pharyngeal, oral, and nasal cavities. What you're looking at here is an MRI of the side of the face. So here we have the larynx, this is the epiglottis, this is the vallecula, we have the tongue, so this gives us the oral cavity. We have the nasal cavity here at the top, and you can see all of the inside structures of the nasal cavity, and this is the pharynx here. What we're looking for is how these structures move as we create the voice. So again, we're not going to see the resonation as it's happening, but we're going to watch how the structures move. So the velum is very important for resonation. It's going to lift against the back pharyngeal wall, and you'll see the back of the pharynx also move as well. And that's opening and closing that velopharyngeal port. So when the velum is lifted, we have a closed velopharyngeal port. Right here at rest, we have an open velopharyngeal port. What that's doing is directing the sound as it's created in the larynx to direct it towards the oral cavity or direct it towards the nasal cavity. So what you're going to watch this person say is reading in poor light gives you eye strain. And we have oral sounds and nasal sounds in this production. Our oral sounds are going to be right here in the beginning with read. We have a nasal sound with our ing. So if you say reading right now, put your finger on your nose. You should only feel vibrations during the ing or the end portion of that word. So reading. You'll really feel those vibrations on the nose. In is mostly going to be a nasal production. Poor light gives you I is all oral production, and then strain is mostly oral with that N at the end. So you'll see kind of this bouncing of the velum as it's opening and closing. So during read, we'll see a closed velopharyngeal port with a brief opening for the ing, a brief opening for in. It'll remain closed for poor light gives you I, and then a brief opening at the end of strain. And we'll watch it 3 times. And the 3rd time. So you see that bouncing is directing that sound to the oral and nasal cavity. We're going to watch that in slow motion. So we have read, where it's lifted and closed, opens briefly, lifts through the end of that sentence, and it's going to open again at the end and go back to completely rested position where they've stopped talking. Now we want to have this balance in the resonating cavities so that our voice quality doesn't sound altered or distracting to the listener. So if I have too much sound coming through the nose, this sentence might sound like reading in poor light gives you eye strain. Or if I have too little sound coming through my nasal cavity, it might sound like reading in poor light gives you eye strain. So we'll talk about the different types of resonance, but having adequate balance in the resonating cavities gives us our good voice quality.